Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting East Coast Honda, and I'm checking out a 2021 Honda Civic in the Sport trim level. This vehicle is sitting on 235/40 Goodyear tires, wrapped around 18-inch alloy wheels with a gloss black finish. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors in the front and solid rotors in the back. The name of this color is Platinum White Pearl. And the sun is shining now, so hopefully it'll do this color justice, because it's not just a regular white. You can see there's a multiple of little sparkle colors in there. It's just a really nice, impressive pearl coat. So here in the front, quite a bit of gloss black. So you can see the badge, the Honda emblem there is chrome, and the rest of it's just a gloss black here at the very top. Even the bezels around the headlights, and then a matte black here at the bottom. Nice and smooth surfaces here. Looks pretty good. It's not quite as overdone as some of previous years. Now the radar adaptive cruise control sensor is here on the left side behind that panel. And then you have a camera system for your lane departure and lane keeping assist systems there as well. The headlights are halogen. So the low beams are in a projector tube, a focused beam. High beams are in a reflector, as well as the fog lights. Daytime running lights are LED, and turn signals are standard bulbs. Take a look at the profile. The door handles are body colored, as well as the upper portion of the side mirror. The pillars right here are a matte black, and the kind of solidifying the glass here, and then the upper portion at the top is a chrome trim. The bottom portion is black trim. You do have these little mud flaps here and here, but the rest of the vehicle is body colored. There's no protective surface around the wheel wells or anything like that. This is what the key looks like. It's a full proximity system designed where you can just keep it with you and you can use the vehicle 100%. Now it does have a remote start, the ability to release the trunk, and a panic button. Let's go ahead and push the panic button. So it has a little beepy horn. When we push the trunk and hold it, you see it releases it, but it doesn't lift it up for you. It just kind of like releases it. You still have to lift it up. So as long as you have the key with you, it can be in your pocket, in a bag, as long as it's on the outside of either the driver or passenger side door. You can lock the doors by pushing this button. You can unlock by simply putting your hand behind the handle, and it allows you access to the vehicle. If you have the key on the outside of the door, it has that sensor back there. You also have a physical key location here on the driver's side only. Here's the inside of the passenger side door. Now it's mostly black, except for it has that satin metallic accent for the matching the handle there. And the surfaces are mostly hard touch surfaces. So all in here is a hard touch. Here is semi-soft, it's like a Nerf material. The armrest is technically soft, but it's like a rag laying over a anvil. It's very, very shallow, soft material. Right underneath it is a hard touch. This is enclosed, so you can utilize that as a pocket, and then you have the pockets there at the bottom. Manually adjusted cloth. There's cloth, and then there's this vinyl material on the outside. You can see right there, and microfiber smooth cloth in the center, and then this is a just like a synthetic leather there on the edges with some stitching, which is looking pretty cool. So there's the floorboard, and plenty of room here. A little bit of tapering here, but just wide open space basically. You also have this spot here that the driver and passenger can share to put some stuff, and there's a 12-volt power supply and the USB inputs and stuff like that there as well. Glove compartment, smooth plastic on the inside. So this is hard touch, this is a soft, and this is a soft material. synthetic, not super cushy, but it's kind of like rubbery soft. So the front door, you can see it has this really big opening and a really good swing of the door here in the front. So getting in and out is really fine. It's no big deal at all. It's very comfortable. The back door, the opening is smaller. And even, so your headroom is even smaller there, but the swing of the door is less. So if the swing of the door was a little bit better, you know, swinging out a little bit wider, I think it would help out. So it's a little bit cramped with that door, the way it's swung right now, considering how small it is back here. So hard touch pretty much everywhere except for this not very hard touch there. Other than that, it's similar styling as the front. Basically a bench seat back here with that same combination of cloth in the middle and then the vinyl here on the edges. There's no armrest or cup holders there in the center. It's just basically a basic seat. And then there's your legroom. Pretty good size hump in the middle too, so it kind of minimizes your ability to use the center seat as a passenger space, depending on how, if you got kids or something, that's fine. Also, it has the latch system for car seats, and it's just basically in between right in here. Taking a look at the back of the vehicle, the third brake light is here at the base of the glass, right in here, and has this little gloss black deck lid spoiler, looking pretty neat. The backup camera is still offset, way over here. Be nice if it had it right in the center, integrated with a badge or something, integrated a little bit better, and in the center would be nicer anyway, in my opinion. Now the taillights are a combination of LED and standard bulbs. So the taillights technically are LEDs, but the reverse and turn signal are standard bulbs. Then you have reflectors down here. Kind of interesting design around the reflectors. And the exhaust, so you have the single outlet exhaust here in the middle. So it's very visible, and it's intended to be. All right, so I showed you how to open up the trunk with the key. There's also a button under here if you need to open it. Just push it, it releases it just like the key does, and then you lift it up. It doesn't take any effort or anything, you just have to lift it up like so. And the trunk extends over the glass a little bit to give you a little bit better room, access to the trunk area. So the trunk is mostly carpeted and goes quite a ways there on the sides. Now there is some limitations here because the trunk lid has those arms. As I lower the lid, you see those arms go into the trunk space. So that kind of takes up a little bit of your cargo space. To release the seats, to fold them down, you have these handles here, one on each side. Now, you can see there's carpet everywhere. Now this surface here is very thin. So it's kind of thin and floppy, not super durable. It just basically rests on the styrofoam piece, and that's where you'll find your tools for your spare tire and your spare tire. You can put some stuff back here as well to kind of store it back here. But heavy items, you know, it kind of sinks down a little bit in some of these spots because it's just not a super strong floor. So under here, quite a bit of exposed metal and wires and stuff. So just keep that in mind if you're putting lots of cargo back in here, like suitcases or whatever. If you cram it all the way up into the top, there's sharp edges and stuff on the metal. It might damage your equipment. Also, you can pull wires out if you're not careful, that kind of thing. So this is not carpeted. Now you can fold down the seat. It's a 60-40 split. The split is right here. So you can fold down one seat or the other and add to your cargo space while still maintaining passenger space, or you could fold them both down and add a pretty good amount of room in addition to the regular trunk area, which is always handy in case you need a long box to put back here or whatever. The fuel door is here on the driver's side, which is convenient, and it locks and unlocks with the vehicle. So when I lock the doors, it locks this. When I unlock the doors, then I can access this. And it's a capless design, so you don't have to worry about getting your hands dirty and unscrewing the cap. As long as the key's inside the vehicle, you put your foot on the brake, hold it, and push this button to start it up. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Now the floor mat's not in place yet, but there is places to hook the floor mat in place, in two places there. Keep it from sliding around on you. There's your accelerator and brake pedal. You can see there are the raised rubber aluminum pedals, looking pretty nice. Then you have a footrest here on the left side. Let's take a look under the hood. To open the hood, there's a latch a little bit to the left of center, so there's a center line. Just reach in a little bit to the left and move it to the right and lift up. So you can see there's the latch there. And it's quite a heavy hood for its size, so it must be a steel hood. It does require a prop to hold it up, and there's the prop, and it swings up, and you actually have two places you can put it. This is the normal spot where the arrow is, and then there's a secondary spot which lifts the hood higher, which is right there. There's the highest position there, so it gets the hood out of your way completely. Now there's some insulation on the underside of the hood. There's also a seal here directing the airflow. You also have seal across the back and right here as well. So this helps out with noise in addition to airflow. There's an insulated firewall. And we have a small plastic cover here, just covering up some of the coil packs and stuff. But for the most part, we can actually see the engine. There's an insulation around the battery, the battery is easy to get to as well. So you can see the exhaust is in the front of the engine, or the front of the vehicle right here. The front of the engine is actually up there. This is the back. The transmission's down here under this area. But this is the exhaust. So having that exhaust there, it is adding heat to the cooling system there. So, you know, when you're driving, it's not such a big deal, but having that there when you're idling or, you know, not going very fast or whatever, it's kind of adding some heat there. But it's probably not a big deal because most vehicles have a over adequate cooling system, so it's good. The intake is here in the back. So this has a 2.0 liter iVTEC 4-cylinder engine pumping out 158 horsepower, and it's paired to a CVT, continuously variable transmission. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the passenger side, except for it has a few more buttons. So there's your power windows, and the front two are automatic, one touch up and down. And there's your door lock controls. Side mirrors are adjusted here. You just pick a side and adjust it with that little pad. The ability to release the trunk is right here. So the driver's seat is a manually adjusted seat as well, except for it has a height adjustment. So that's how the driver's seat one-ups the passenger. To the left of the steering column, there's a few buttons here. So this is your lane departure system. You can turn that on or off. It has an indicator light. And your forward collision warning system. And then this is your traction control. Default will be on. You can turn it off in case you need to spin tires. It also has a tilt and a telescoping steering column. And the latch for it's way back here. So you really have to reach for it. So that's how you secure it. To release it, you got to reach way down here past your knees and then release it and then push it to secure it. I'm sitting in the driver's seat checking it out, and I'm 6 feet tall. I have the seat all the way down and all the way back to give you an idea of what's going on with the legroom here. And it's a little bit too far back, actually. I mean, this is a tremendous amount of legroom. The footrest is a little bit here at the top. It kind of has a bulge in the top, so if you got big feet, then that might be a little bit annoying, but other than that, it's fine. Knee room is fantastic. Now, of course, if you have the seat all the way back like this, then the back passenger seats are not going to have a good time. They won't have that much leg room. So looking at the steering wheel, for a vehicle in this price range, this is a really nice looking steering wheel. Feels nice. It's leather wrap, stitching there on the inside. Looks good. It's got a good grippy surface and everything. Just really nice. So here on the right side, got some buttons here, and this is for your cruise control. So you turn it on right here, and then you can set, resume, cancel like a normal cruise control, but it also has adaptive cruise control, and you can set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you using that button. That uses a radar system. And then this is for your lane keep assist. You can turn that on or off. And when it sees the lines, it'll try to help you stay in the lane. So it'll actually turn the steering wheel a little bit, and it's not driving or anything, it's just helping you keep the vehicle in the center of the lane, so that way your hands or arms don't get fatigued, I guess. Just makes a little bit of a helping hand, I guess. So here on the left side, that's your volume for your radio, and then your Bluetooth. You can answer and hang up on calls, and voice recognition, so you can say certain commands like call a particular person type thing. This enter, arrows, this pages, and this back button right here all correspond with the screen. We'll get to that in just a minute. Windshield wiper controls are here on the right side. On the left side is your turn signal, but it also has your headlight control. So you have off, parking light, automatic, and headlights on, and then this is your fog light control. Okay, so here's the gauges. Now there's physical gauges here and on the other side. So this is your engine coolant temperature, your fuel gauges there on the right side. You have a little control here for resetting a trip. But the center portion is basically just a screen. So if we remember these buttons here, this is the pages button, then you have arrows and enter and a back. So I'm going to push the pages button so you can see what I'm talking about. First of all, it has a digital speedometer and a digitally represented tachometer here. Clock, odometer, outside temperature, and what gear you're in. But that center information, if I push the pages button, so you can see it has these icons, and then you select the one you want. So the first one is fuel economy, so we get that information here. The next one is your oil life. The next one is whatever your radio is doing. The next one is your phone, so like caller ID, that kind of thing. And the next one is to change to kilometers per hour. So those are different selections there, information that you can have, or selections you can make there on the screen. Now you see these little white lines here at the top? Those will turn green as you're driving if you're getting decent fuel economy. If you start flooring it and revving the engine and stuff, it'll turn white, just to let you know that you're not in the optimal band that's good for the engine, basically, or good as far as fuel economy anyways. So that's it's like a driving aid if you want to sip fuel or whatever, but you know, it's going to be generally good on gas anyway. Four-way flashers are up here, and then you have a touch screen. You do have a physical volume knob, and then physical buttons here on the left side. So this, when I push the home button, this is what I see right here, and it has these different selections. You can slide it like so, and so you see audio, but we also have a physical audio button here, so we can select that either way. Then it goes into whatever our radio is doing. We can change the audio sources here. So you have AM, FM, USB, iPod, Bluetooth, Pandora, and your smartphone. So you also have the ability to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity with the vehicle. So that's nice. It'll give you the access to your, navigation and stuff like that. So the next one is your phone. Once you pair it, you'll have access to that. All right. And Honda Link, that's an app for your cell phone that you can access more information. And then here's the settings here, so you can adjust those settings. You also can push that button and it goes into kind of like a old school Android type system with like a calculator, and you can download stuff, install apps, that kind of thing. Also on the screen is your climate, so you push this button and you access the climate control here. You also have some buttons here to control it, so you have your temperature, fan speed, and you can recirculate the air, front and rear defrosters, stuff like that. You also have automatic mode, so you can set the temperature, push automatic, and it'll kind of do its thing, adjust the fan speed and stuff. So down here is a little storage area. Now you notice there's a wire poking through these holes here. So you can run wires up, and there's wire keepers basically keeping them from falling down. So you can access them here or down here, which is kind of not convenient for me to reach under there, but you do have access to this compartment there. It's kind of weird, but this is easy to get to anyway, because you will need to plug your cell phone in for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. So having that capability, you will need to utilize the connectivity, actually physically connected to the vehicle. It charges your device and also uses the system there. Okay, so here's your shifter, and when we put it in reverse, the backup camera pops up here, and there's actually several views. So we have a super wide view, a more linear view, and then more of a top-down view. So you notice that it's a very super saturated colors. It's not the best camera in the world, but you do get to see what's going on behind you. The shadows aren't very detailed though. I can see where maybe something, an object on the ground might get lost in a shadow or something like that. But this super wide view, you get to see both ways. So if you're backing out of a parking spot, you can actually see both ways. It's heavily distorted, but at least you'll be able to see something moving back there, so you don't continue to back up if there's a car coming. All right, then there's neutral, drive, and then you have a sport mode. So this is a CVT transmission, so technically it doesn't have gears, it has speed ratios. And you have the ability to change through the gears using these paddle shifters, these speed ratios. So you can downshift, upshift, and it kind of simulates gears. Now it has electronic parking brake. You can gauge it by pulling it up, and it lets you know that it's engaged, and it engages the rear wheels. To release it, you hold the brake and then push it down. And then you have a brake hold. This will hold the brake for you when you come to a complete stop, at a stoplight or a stop sign or in traffic or whatever. And then that way, when you're ready to go, you just tap the accelerator, it will release the brakes, and then you can continue going. There's an eco mode, so this will emphasize fuel economy over performance. So if you're really into fuel economy, you just turn that on and drive the vehicle as easy as you can. Alright, so this is an armrest and a storage compartment. So this is kind of like rubbery soft, so here on the sides it's soft as well. And you can share it with your passenger if you want. This slides back like so. So you can access, this is a compartment down here. So there's a kind of a deeper compartment here. I don't know if you can see in there, but there's a USB port. And let me turn on the night vision because it's super dark in there. Yeah, there we go. So there's a USB port, and then there's a cup holder there, and then you see there's a plastic divider. And we'll get to that divider in a second. There's cup holders here, and they even have little arms, articulating arms, and this thing slides. And also you can remove this sliding tray, this cup holder tray, if you want to. Okay, so this part also lifts up. So not only does it slide back, but it also lifts up. And then you have this little storage area right here, a little pocket, quick access pocket. And then the divider you saw in the front is here, and then you have this compartment here as well. So you can see how dark it is in there, but you can see it with the night vision. Rear view mirror has a manual day and night mode. Up here you have some tap lights. There's a little ambient light that shines when you have the lights on at night to kind of give you a little bit of ambient light in the center of the vehicle. Center here around the cup holders and stuff. The visors are a cloth material matching the headliner, and they have mirror and no lights. No lights. They do slide out, and there is a clip. That's handy. Be nice to have a clip on this side, so you can put your registration on this side. Basically the same thing on the passenger side. All right, so let's look at the visibility in the back. So you can see pretty good. I mean, you got some windows. You got a big window in the back, and then those pillars have a little tiny window there. But as far as looking over my shoulder and through the rearview mirror, it looks fine. All vehicles are going to have some kind of issue that you have to get used to. But this one has the, backup camera to help out as well. All right, there you have it. Thank you for watching, and thank you to East Coast Honda here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I'll see you guys next time.